All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something a little different. We're looking at your source material on winning the lottery,
Okay.
but this isn't like your typical advice on how to pick lucky numbers or anything.
Mhm.
We're diving into a YouTube video, and it features Daryl Anka channeling an entity called Bashar.
Interesting.
And their perspective on wealth and reality is, well, it's pretty unique. So,
Definitely is. Even if you don't normally delve into channeling, this source presents some intriguing ideas.
yes.
Just from a purely philosophical perspective.
Right, exactly. And Bashar's core concept is that it's not about like picking the winning numbers, but about shifting your reality to make your numbers the winners.
Mm,
I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, whoa, hold on. Can we really influence something as random as the lottery on that level? Like, that's some serious mind-bending stuff.
right. It does make you wonder. Well, I guess first we should probably unpack what shifting reality actually means.
Yeah, good point.
Because it's a bit of a loaded term, isn't it? In a way, Bashar's ideas resonate with things like, the law of attraction. But there's a twist. It's not just about, wishing and hoping for things to change. It's more about aligning your actions, your actual actions with your beliefs.
So it's not just positive thinking, it's positive doing.
Yes, exactly. And there's another layer to this that I found really interesting. Bashar talks a lot about passion and how it plays into this.
Oh, okay.
Their argument is that for most people, they aren't actually passionate about winning the lottery itself.
Mm.
It's more about what the money represents. Things like freedom, security, having the ability to pursue their dreams.
I can definitely see that, right?
So think about it. Have you ever noticed how things just seem to flow easier when you're genuinely excited about something, when you're, fired up about it?
Oh, totally. When I'm super passionate about a project, it's almost like the universe is conspiring to help me out.
Yeah.
Things just fall into place.
Exactly. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole concept. Bashar suggests that true passion might actually be shifting our energy
Interesting.
or our focus in ways that we don't even fully grasp.
Okay.
It might make us more confident, more persistent, maybe even more receptive to opportunities we'd otherwise miss.
Okay, but back to the lottery for a second. So Bashar claims that most people are more passionate about what winning would allow them to do, not the actual act of winning itself.
Right.
So the question then becomes, what are you truly passionate about, regardless of any potential windfall?
Yeah, that's the real question, isn't it? It really is a powerful question when you think about it, because it kind of forces us to, look beyond that surface level desire for wealth and actually ask ourselves what really drives us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, Bashar actually suggests that this self-reflection is a key part of something they call neutral being.
Okay, neutral being, it sounds kind of intriguing, but what does it actually mean? Like, how would you describe that?
Well, it's about approaching the lottery, or really any life experience for that matter, from a place of peace and acceptance, rather than, neediness or desperation. Bashar argues that when we get too attached to a specific outcome, we actually end up creating resistance. It's like trying to jam a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't work, right? But when we cultivate a state of neutral being, we kind of become more open to receiving whatever the universe has in store for us. And that might not always line up with our initial expectations.
So it's not about giving up on our desires, but more about like loosening the grip we have on them.
Yeah, exactly. It's about
All right.
trusting the process and recognizing that sometimes, what we think we want might not actually be what's best for us,
Okay, I can see that.
Now, you might be wondering, how do we actually cultivate this neutral being thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, Bashar suggests, practices like meditation or journaling, things that can help us become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, especially the ones that might be holding us back.
So it's about like getting to know ourselves better, understanding our own internal landscape and how that affects things.
Exactly.
But how does all of this tie back to the idea of, winning the lottery?
Well, let's imagine for a second you're playing the lottery from a place of desperation. Like you need to win to be happy.
Okay.
That kind of energy, according to Bashar, might actually push away the very abundance you're seeking,
Interesting.
But if you approach it from a place of neutral being, you play just for fun, you appreciate the possibility well, you just might shift your energy in a way that aligns you with more favorable outcomes.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these concepts kind of connect.
Yeah.
But what if What if even after all this introspection, our deepest desire really is to win the lottery? Like, what then?
Well, Bashar wouldn't say don't play. In fact, they'd probably encourage you to dig deeper into the why behind that desire, you know? Like, what is it about winning that really excites you? Is it the financial freedom, the chance to travel the world? Maybe it's the opportunity to help others. Once you identify that core desire, you can actually start taking steps to cultivate those experiences in your life, whether you win the lottery or not.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about recognizing that the feeling we're really after, the freedom, the security, the joy, it doesn't have to depend on winning the lottery.
Exactly. It's about, taking control of our own happiness, our own fulfillment, instead of putting all our hopes on some external event, something outside of our control.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
And who knows, by focusing on cultivating those feelings now in the present moment, we might just create a reality that's even more abundant than we could have ever imagined, lottery win or not.
I love that reframing. It's not about giving up on the dream. It's about empowering ourselves to create the life we want, regardless of the external circumstances.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most valuable takeaways from Bashar's teachings. Even if you're skeptical about, this idea of bending reality to win the lottery, just exploring these concepts can still lead to a richer and more fulfilling life, just by thinking about these things.
Yeah, I agree. As we're exploring all these ideas from Bashar, I'm realizing how much of this goes beyond just, winning the lottery. It's really about our beliefs about abundance, like in all areas of life.
That's a great point, isn't it? It's like Bashar's really challenging us to expand our definition of what it means to win.
Okay.
Because so often we get so focused on a single outcome, like hitting the jackpot or landing the dream job or finding the perfect partner. But what if we're missing out on other forms of abundance that are already present in our lives? Like, what can you give me some examples? What else could be considered winning in Bashar's framework?
Well, think about your relationships, like the love and support of family and friends, or the joy of connecting with people who share your interests. That's a form of abundance that a lot of people kind of overlook.
Yeah.
Or what about the opportunities you have for growth and learning? Every day brings new chances to learn something new, to develop your skills, to step outside of your comfort zone. I mean, these are all wins in their own right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's about like appreciating the wealth we already have, not just in a material sense, but in every part of our lives.
That's exactly it. And this ties back to the idea of shifting reality, right?
When we focus on gratitude, when we take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the good things that are already in our lives, it's almost like we're tuning our frequency to attract even more abundance,
So it's not just about changing our actions. It's also about changing our perspective.
Yeah.
Our outlook.
Yes, precisely. And Bashar actually emphasizes another really powerful concept that I think ties all of this together, and that is acting from preference, not from need. Goes hand in hand with that whole idea of neutral being.
Yeah.
Because when we act out of desperation, or a sense of lack, our energy becomes really constricted. But when we act from a place of joy, from excitement, from a genuine preference for a particular outcome, even if we don't end up getting that specific outcome, we're still aligned with a positive flow.
This giving you a whole new way to think about playing the lottery. What if instead of focusing on the need to win, we focus more on the enjoyment of playing, just for the fun of it.
That's a fantastic way to apply Bashar's teachings.
Sure. Yeah.
What if approaching buying a ticket was more of a playful act, a way to kind of to participate in a collective dream rather than a desperate attempt to escape your current reality? It might shift your entire experience.
Wow, this deep dive has really changed how I view the lottery and abundance in general.
And that's the beauty of exploring these unconventional ideas, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't fully embrace every concept, just the act of questioning your assumptions and considering new perspectives, it can spark incredible insights and open up all sorts of new possibilities.
So to our listener, even if you never buy another lottery ticket, we hope this deep dive at least gives you some things to think about. What are your deepest passions? How do you How do you define abundance in your own life?
Yeah.
And how can you shift your perspective, your outlook, to really appreciate all the wealth that you already possess while still being open to even more possibilities?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, even if you don't completely buy into this idea of bending reality, just exploring these ideas can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and personal growth.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe by shifting our internal reality, our inner world, we just might find ourselves winning in ways that we never even imagined.
That's a great point. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder those possibilities. Until next time, keep diving deep.